Hey guys, it's the History Nerd, and we are back with another exciting episode of... Come on, stop, watch, work. That's not the title of the game. Order of Battle Pacific, the Japanese campaign. Let's get this briefing started. The 14th Army has taken the north of Luzon province, facing a little opposition. As we advance south, however, we can expect enemy resistance to increase. Since we are on a strict timetable, speed is of the essence. Crush the forward enemy defenses, and capture both main bridges before the enemy gets a chance to destroy them. Our advance is part of a pincer movement coordinated with forces approaching Manila from the southeast. Take all the primary victory points. Take all the primary VPs along the route of your attack to secure your lines of supply and communications. The only major American airbase on the Philippines is Clark Field. A quick strike against it should allow us to knock out most of their airfield before they can pose any threat. A rapid advance is vital to stay on track with the timetable of our offensive. Use superior fighting spirit of our armed forces and destroy the enemy. Alright, so we're going to need to set ourselves up with our units to do the attack. Now you can see we've got 640 points to spend. We've already got a dive bomber. Unfortunately, I'm going to need to boost their life up a little bit, which, you know, that's a little frustrating. But what can you do? We should go the whole way, really. And we're going to switch them to be dive bombers, which I enjoy immensely. What else are we going to need to do? Well, I'm thinking we should probably purchase another bomber, because that's going to be necessary to take out that airfield quite quickly. And there's not really much in the way of the fighter, like enemy fighters that come along, so we don't necessarily need to worry about purchasing a Zero. Although we could get a Hayabusa. The reason why I lean towards getting carrier aircraft is so you could use them in every battle you've got. If we were to go with the Hayabusa, sure, we could use it now, and it is cheaper. But in any mission where we don't have land bases, you know, it becomes a useless aircraft, which sucks. I would love to be able to use them, but, you know, the Zeros, you know, they are better. Because they're carrier-based. That's really all there is to it. Maybe what we'll do is we'll hold off on the bomber and instead purchase our land units. Now, we do have room for, you know, some naval units, but if we take a look at the map, here's where they can deploy. And that's it. Like, there's really no need for any naval units, so we're not going to waste our money on those just yet. What we do want is we want some artillery, and it's always good, especially since we're going to be moving quickly, we're on the offensive, to get some artillery with a truck, so we can push on ahead much quicker. And we should be okay with just one gun. I'm fairly confident. We're going to want one unit of engineers for the western push. We can see we've got a unit of Japanese engineers here for the eastern push, and then the plan basically is to just keep going south until we get to somewhere. I think it's around here where we're going to want to link up, cut off the supply of those guys, and keep pushing forward. So that's the plan there. Let's get ourselves some infantry, which we're going to need at least that, but we could probably do one more each, because you can never have too much infantry. I realize some people would probably disagree, but to them I say, tough titties. I like having infantry, especially when you're doing naval invasions and all sorts of fun things like that. Another thing we're probably going to want is a Type 97 Chiha tank. I will admit my ignorance when it comes to Japanese tanks. I am completely clueless as to what are good tanks, what are bad tanks. When it comes to Japanese forces, I've got no idea. So just keep that in mind. And maybe A unit of anti-air would be a good idea too. Let's purchase that. Drop that there. Again, there shouldn't be too much in the way. That is a horrible location for that, by the way. There shouldn't be too much in the way of enemy fighters. So we should be fairly safe. We are going to need another bomber, though. So let's go ahead, swap him to a bomber, put him in position. Then you can see, even if we wanted to, we couldn't afford a zero. We got the space for it, but like I say, I like to focus on carrier aircraft because they're the most useful and versatile. In the meantime, we can do maybe a unit of Japanese heavy infantry. We will put them someplace like that. Alright, so that should be good. I'm not going to bother putting Saburo here in charge of anything, although the defense against air might not be a bad idea if they ever launch any fighters. Well, I don't think they will. We're out of money, so let's go ahead and start the deployment. So we can see here our primary objective is capture all VPs, and we've got 50 turns to do that. Now this is one of those games. Well, no, not even. Let me think this sentence through. This game's slightly different than Panzer Corps. Panzer Corps, there were many missions where it felt like, you know, you just needed one or two more turns to be able to get a victory. Order Battle Pacific, the amount of turns you have is so high that it's, you know, I have yet to hit a situation where I've run out of turns. Now you can see we've got secondary objectives, and one of those secondary objectives is to complete the mission in 35 turns. So if we manage to pull that off, we get a bit of a bonus. If we get Clark Airfield destroyed in 12 turns, we get another little bonus. If we capture both main bridges in 10 turns, we get another bonus. I don't know what that bonus is. I have yet to make it down to these bridges. Well, that one and that one in 10 turns. I just haven't been able to pull that off. Probably because I'm a little too cautious. I will freely admit that that is the case. But, you know, what can you do? So I'm taking my Kanko bombers, and we are going to head down to Clark Field and bomb the crap out of them. That's the plan there. And we don't really want to have to deal with American Air Forces later on in life. So let's just move our anti-air right away, and we can start shelling this position in the east and just start, you know, moving towards it. Now we are going to take a little bit of an attack penalty because we're attacking from a riverbank. That's never good, but we got it up now to 2+ against 2. So I'll take those losses. And there's really not much. This is just some poor planning on my part. Poor strategic planning. Which should come as no surprise to anybody. We can get... Actually, we could get you there. And then take the city. There we go. Off to a rip-roaring start. Let's take our infantry and move them on in. A little bit closer. Taking a little bit of a hit for entering poor terrain. We want to kind of limit that. One's not bad. One we can recover from. But more than that, you know, it starts to add up, and then your force just isn't as good on the offensive. Or defensive, for that matter. You really want to watch your unit's organization, is basically what I'm saying. We can see they're shifting units around. Oh, you want to put your anti-tank gun there? Be my guest. It's not going to help you. I would have liked to do more than 1 damage. But that's okay. We can get you moving like that. We can get you moving in there. Now, you did take some organization hits because it was -2 instead of 1. And we can see we took a few more losses than I would have liked. But that's okay. We should get this northern city taken relatively quickly. And let's see, where can we use our artillery effectively? How about over here? love it. And just a little side note, I love the sound effects in this game. So like that artillery shooting sounds beautiful. Let's move our heavy infantry down, and we should be able to do some nice damage to these Philippine units. And as much as I would love to flank them around, it's probably not a good idea. So let's just continue to push southward with these guys. And I think all we got left is our bombers. So we're just going to keep driving them south. Hopefully we can avoid any anti-aircraft that's kicking around. I know there's going to be some right by the airfield. So, you know, we might not fully be able to avoid things, but where do we want this? So we'll send it this way. No allied units should be able to get in there, I hope. Yeah, you can go ahead and try. You're not going to make it too far. Yeah, keep attacking me. That seems like a good idea. We'll get rid of you. Now, I'm not going to move these guys. Even though those guys are retreating, I'm going to send those guys up to do some damage to this anti-tank gun. Which should open things up for a little victory there. And because these are my own personal forces, I will spend the money to get those guys some proper replacements. It's the least I can do, really. Let's see, have we got any other units kicking around here? There we go. Get you moving. And that should be enough to take that town, so we can just keep pushing things around this way. I'm going to send the tank up against the bunker, because tanks are really good at taking out bunkers. And just keep moving everybody else. Beautiful. We'll get our bombers down here. Oh, and look at that. We can actually drop some bombs on an anti-tank gun. So we will. Take that, America. Right, artillery. We will send the artillery east. This is going to be our main force. These guys, once we get the bombers back from bombing the airfield, we can get them to assist in this push. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Next turn. Alright. Manila is an open city. The American forces have abandoned Manila, capital of the Philippines, and declared it an open city. That's pretty quick. What are we on, turn 4? Yeah, that is pretty quick. I likes it. Let's keep driving south. Or pushing south. Flying south. However you want to put it. I'm not picky. We got a little bit of damage done there. We can move in and attack and get those guys up on the riverbank. And I still think I've got enough forces up here. Because really, I mean, we can just run these guys in and now, boom. Now you're out of supply. That's going to be awkward for you. I don't necessarily want to move those guys. They need a break. But I wouldn't mind knocking those guys out of supply. So... because they certainly are being jerks. There we go. They'll be able to maneuver around and probably reconnect their supply routes, but for you, we'll just do that. Spending a bit of money, but because we're on the offensive, we are going to be making tons of money. let's... Oh no, those guys have moved, so it's just this left. I'm just uncertain. I guess, yeah, we'll push. We'll push west with these guys. Why not? Move you up like that. And keep moving you guys down. There shouldn't be any units coming this way, so we're good. Hopefully we can link these guys up sooner than later. And we can see both those infantry units have really no interest in getting reconnected to their supply routes. I don't know why. But, you know what? They can do whatever it is they want to do. I guess that guy got resupplied there. So, to truly cut them off, we should do that. There we go. And move you like so. We can just chase that guy down and make him regret all of his life choices. Clear the bunker. And how are we doing? Turn 5 out of 10. You see what I mean about capturing these bridges before turn 10? It's just... I guess you really need to push a blitz. But... with my infantry focus, I'm guessing pushing a blitz is harder than you would imagine. Damn! I should have assumed that there would be units there. It's my poor choice as a commander. I hope my units can forgive me. So let's get in. You can see we do have an anti-aircraft gun there, but with 2 bombers, and this is why I wanted to get 2 bombers. We should be able to knock these out without taking too much aircraft damage. And then it's basically just clear sailing. Well, we can move you in. And we'll leave you like that. Yeah, you guys can just wait. That's fine. So, hopefully... There we go. The rapid destruction of Clark Airfield has left the enemy with very little left in terms of air power. This action assures us air superiority during the rest of the Philippines campaign. Air superiority is always important. Well, at least when you're, you know, in a timeline where you're fighting with air units. You know, if you're just chilling... then you don't really need to worry about it. Alright, I hope that guy was actually mine. I think he is, because that looks like a gold marker around. We'll finish that off. And let's get our artillery in. And we'll move you like that so we can get our engineers in. Fire up the flamethrowers. Boom. Can we move you far enough to catch them? No. Alright, well we will resupply you. We might as well move you up because we need to. And we'll set up our anti-air like so. A nice juicy target for any Japanese units to come after. But that's okay. We'll get you moving. And that should be it. Alright, well let's get our bombers home before they wind up dead. And just follow the same route. Hopefully that's out of range. It is. We will make sure we stay out of range. At least until we can replace some losses. Let's get this front finally moving. There, like so. We can move our tank down to finish those guys off. And then, I guess the smart maneuver would be to start pushing for this town here. You guys need a turn to rest, and you guys need a little bit more resupply. So let's move our artillery down. Close, but not too close to the front. Yeah, we definitely need to let you guys rest and reorganize. In the meantime, we can get these guys moving. And, yeah, we'll just put you on sleep. I don't necessarily want to do that just yet, and those planes have moved. Let's get you guys back. Hey, there's that anti-tank gun again. No damage this time. That's okay. We'll move you. Ooh, that is not looking good. Why are you going to take losses there, Japanese infantry? We'll move the engineers up and those guys up, and we can just storm this tank down. Move you guys into a position like that, and you can see these sandbags. Let's zoom in. As you leave your units just kind of sitting around not doing anything, they will, I guess I don't really have any units I've left sitting around, but they will, you know, sort of fortify the position they're in. So that is pretty handy. And who have we got left? We're not ready for any town assaults just yet. And I really, like I say, I don't think we're going to be capturing these bridges. That's okay, though. We don't need to worry about bridges. And so one of the things, too, you can see this blue plus sign. That means I'm going to be getting an attack bonus from that unit, kind of like a flanking bonus. So that's handy. I like that. And we can move those guys in and finish them off. And storm you guys down. Let's get our tank on the move. Yeah, why not? We'll start there. Yeah, flamethrowers and grenades ain't got nothing on my Japanese heavy tank? I think it's a heavy tank. Like I say, though, I don't know anything about Japanese tanks, so I have no idea. I know that they weren't used all that much. I think? I don't know. I don't know a thing about the Japanese military ground forces, really. I know a little bit about their Navy and the Air Force. Yeah, we'll get you guys resupplied, although that was probably, honestly, a little bit of a waste of money there. Oh, well. Alrighty, let's get these bombers back. Although we could use this guy still. There's not really too many targets where that'll be useful, though. So we'll definitely land that guy. We might have that guy hang around and help us out a little bit. We are getting ground down here. I do not like this one bit. So let's take you. We should get a little bonus to you. Which does allow us to step in like that. Oh, they got an anti-tank gun there. Okay. We'll let you rest, and we'll pull you back. Because, my God, you guys need to be pulled back. That is a horrible location for that artillery. I'm almost thinking it would be best to move it kind of up here to assist that attack. We don't really need any assistance down here. Things seem to be going just fine here. That should open that up, which means we can advance them up. Come on. And it's probably better to do that, so then we can move in and do something like that. Although we are going to take slightly heavier losses that way. You know, if we can cut these guys off, that might be the best bet. We did get one bridge, so that's something. Anti-air, you can just... Well, we'll move you up further. And next turn. Those guys, that American heavy infantry, they are dug in like rabbits. Okay, let's get you up over here, because that was unexpected. We can get you like that, and then next turn we can use that anti-aircraft gun as an anti-tank gun, which is important. Let's start trying to ground these guys down. You need to replace your losses. You guys could probably do with some loss replacement too. Which sucks, but it is what it is. Let's land that bomber. We should have one more kicking around right up there. Probably should have used him to attack before pushing the infantry, but that's okay. We'll make sure to secure that town. We gotta leave the tank there to go anti-tank duty on him. Let's pull that Japanese infantry unit back. None of these are all that good. We can try with the flamethrowers. And we'll get that bunker taken care of sooner than later. Well, I mean, we can do that. There we go. Bunker's taken care of now. I like that. We will just let you do your thing. Clever little strategery there by the enemy tank units. You should do more than 1 damage to an anti-tank gun. That's my humble opinion anyway. Okay, so with these guys, so this red marker here, this is where it would have been better to take, what was it? Where's my infantry? The Bushido Code instead of Bonsai, because all of these guys are out of supply now. Thank you very much, Mr. American Tank. So let's reconnect the supply routes. And basically we're going to have to let these guys just kind of sit here for a turn and recoup their losses. This guy is in seriously dire straits. And we're in a situation where our bomber can't really assist. So let's get our bomber squadrons rebuilt. We'll resupply you poorly, but at least there's still resupply. And yeah, we gotta sit back and wait for a turn there. I hope these guys... See, I think attacking a tank with katanas and bayonets is probably not the best idea. So we're just gonna leave those guys and hope they survive. And that should be... Let's double check this. Yeah, all of those guys gotta stay. So next turn. Alright, well, we should be able to move the tank up now, but as you can see, because he was out of supply, he's in the red. So, you know, from a military perspective, not exactly the greatest position to be attacking from. And I should try and pull those guys back to protect them. We will keep shelling that American infantry and eventually get to a point where they wind up dead. So they're getting close. but they're not quite there yet. Let's do that, because at least then we take care of an infantry unit that we don't really necessarily want to have to deal with. And now we can start moving these guys up. So you need to replace your losses. And I think what we're going to want to do now is take these guys and head them east. Like so. Although it is going to be longer than I would like for these guys to make it down into their position, basically across the bridge that we needed to capture, and into the south. But that's okay. Let's check. We're definitely going to need to land you, so we will. And we might as well pop these guys out. Sure, they're not at 100%, but 80% I'm fine with. What do we got here? I don't think so. I think, well, for 13, why not? Next turn. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, all those guys... These guys are well aware that they just have to slow me down, which makes them jerks. Why aren't you I guess because we keep making you move? So let's do that, and let's have you just full-on retreat. Out of there, and we'll replace your losses, and we'll pretend everything is happy. We can finally cut those guys off. Which means they should be unable to resupply. And we can finally take care of that stupid heavy infantry. Would that actually achieve anything if I send him there? Not really. So let's send him there. And now one thing you can do that I'll show you guys here with resupply. If I were to resupply this unit here now, they wouldn't be able to move, but I can move them and then resupply them. So that's something to keep in mind. Order of operations in this game plays a pretty big role. So it's always, it's always important to just keep that in mind. Let's get you on the move, because you will be helpful. And now that those guys have refueled, we can replace the last of their losses and next turn launch them up for the fighting. Alright. So we got our tank back to 100% strength. That's good news. Although it certainly looks like we took a little bit of damage. Let's do that, and that, and that. And that should take care of that stupid anti-tank gun. Not quite. I guess. Yeah, it's not really worth it. We should get our artillery on the move. And start getting our bombers down south. I might keep this one to the west, though. Just to assist here. They could use the help. You need to replace your losses. We can't move you. Should have planned that better. Which, is probably a sentence I'm going to say quite a lot with this series. So bear with me. As always, if you're looking for the best way to play this game, probably don't watch what I do. Let's see. We can move you around like so. We can get you down like so. And if we can weaken these guys, move you like that, and then don't follow them, just kill them. You can't win it all, but, alright. We're good there, we're good there. Next turn. Come on, you stupid anti-tank gun. Just die already. So with the resupply, the one thing you can't do is resupply if they've attacked. Which I mean, that makes sense, really. Let's go ahead, supply you. And we'll take our bomber down here. And we'll take this bomber over here. And let's see, we're going to need to replace your losses. We can send you up and just finish those guys off. Bring you back down. Move you into position here. Replace your losses and then send you into the city. Perfect. We'll move that down, and I think that's it for them. And I think that's where I'm going to leave the episode for today. So, thumbs up if you have enjoyed this episode. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, jokes, musings, what have you below. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.